Hello, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be using a band. So you can grab a TheraBand of any strength you like. My bands are quite long, but if you want to, you can always join two together if you need to. So we're going to start off by taking the band, wrap it around the rib cage, just about at bra strap line, and then tie it together at the front. You want the band to be tight enough that you can feel it, but not so tight that it's restricting your breathing too much. And now with your hands on your thighs, perhaps even sitting in a chair if you prefer not to kneel like this, we're going to take a breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out, just let the air leave you gently and easily. Your mouth will be soft, your forehead will begin to relax. And this time as you breathe in, try to feel the sides of the band stretch. So we're opening up the sides of the rib cage and breathe out a little bit slower this time. And again. And as you breathe out, feel any tension that you're holding in your neck or shoulders just dissolve. And this time as you breathe in, try to breathe into the back of the band. See if you can make the back of the band stretch. And now the arms can float away from the thighs. And this time as you breathe in, the arms reach towards me, opening up the shoulder blades and allowing a little bit more air to come into the back of the ribs. And as you breathe out, we're going to bring the arms back and try to feel the front of the rib cage closing. Feel as though the knot is tightening. And twice more like this. And as you breathe in, try to keep the muscles in your neck nice and relaxed. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed and low. And every muscle in your face just releases and melts now. The hands can come down. The left hand can reach up and over the shoulder. And as you breathe in, try to feel the left side of the band stretching even more. And now the right arm can come up and over the shoulder. And again, see if you can make the right side of the band stretch a little more than the left. You can begin to feel the muscles in the ribs working a little bit more each time you exhale. Well done. So now we'll take the band away, or unwrap it, and instead hold on to the band in each hand with about equal tension on each side of the band. And we can just stretch the arms ahead of us, feeling a little bit of work in the chest. And then as you breathe in, bring the elbows back and in line with the shoulders. And we'll just do this twice more, just beginning to warm up the muscles in the arms and shoulders and chest, and soften the fluids in the elbow and shoulder joints. Last time like this. So now can you keep your arms straight? And this time, as you breathe in, reach your arms further forward, feel the shoulder blades pull apart. And as you breathe out, let the shoulder blades swoop back together, just sliding your arms back as though your arms are resting on a glass table. And we're just protracting and retracting the shoulder blades. Breathing out as the arms go back, and using that breath out to engage the diaphragm and feel the front of the rib cage closing as though you still have that knot there tightening. And we'll do just one more here. Well done. So now the arms can open wide. We can bring the arms up and over the shoulders and just let the arms relax into the band. And take a breath out now as you tip over to your left, opening up the left side, the right side of the body. And then a breath in as you circle the body forward and over the legs. And of course, if you prefer to, you can do this standing or even in a chair if you don't like kneeling up like I am now. Let's go the other way. A breath out as we go to the right. A breath in as we circle forward, flooding the rib cage with air. And a breath out as you come to the top. Let's stretch out the arms behind us. And now bending the elbows only, point the knuckles at the ceiling. Breathe in and breathe out, stretch the arms away from each other. Now all the while we're doing this, let's make sure that the front of the rib cage doesn't flare open and that we don't feel as though the rib cage is tilting upwards. You're going to keep a nice long line to the spine. And one more like this. And you can hold it here with your arms and wrists nice and long. A breath out now, let's twist to the left, trying to keep the pelvis nice and still so the twist happens through the ribs and through the waist. And you can breathe in as you come back to me. And breathe out, twist to your right. Feeling the waist narrowing as you get rid of every drop of air. And we'll just do this one more time each way, taking it a little bit further this second time. Well done. So the elbows can bend, reach the arms up and over. And now place the band underneath your knees if you're kneeling, or underneath your feet if you're sitting or standing. And then take hold of the band quite close to the bottom point, so that as you straighten up, you can feel the shoulders being gently pulled down and away from the ears. Lovely. And now as you breathe out, let your head just rest onto the left shoulder, feeling a stretch through the right side of the neck. And we can bring the head back to the center. And a breath out as we tilt the head over to the right. If any of this hurts, then please don't do the bits that hurt. And again, over we go to the left, and this time we're going to hold it here, look down towards the ground, and then draw your chin to your chest as though you're trying to look into the pocket of your trousers. We'll bring the head back onto the shoulders, tilt the head to the left, to the right rather, look down towards the floor, and then again, a little nod towards the chest. Let's bring the head back to the center now. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift the shoulders towards the ears. Roll the shoulders back, keeping the wrists and the elbows nice and loose. And we can just begin to warm up the muscles in the upper back. One more time like this. And now can we reverse these circles? Draw the shoulders up and forward, trying to keep the head nice and still all the time. And one more time like this. So now let's bring the shoulders up towards the ears. Bring the left shoulder forward and the right shoulder back. See if you can circle the shoulders around each other in opposite directions. It's a little bit like patting your head and rubbing your tummy. But it's a lovely way to mobilize the shoulder blades and also help to improve your proprioceptive skills. So let's now change direction. Lift the shoulders towards your ears. This time, the right shoulder comes forward and the left shoulder goes back. Don't worry if you don't get this the first time, or the second or third time. And we've got one more here. Well done. So now let's take the band out from underneath the knees or feet. We're going to step the right foot forward, and you can again do this standing if you prefer, and then cross the band over like so. And we're going to hold the band in an overhand grip like this. Grow nice and tall. Take a breath in to prepare, and as you breathe out, draw the elbows up and towards the shoulders, opening up the chest and using the tummy muscles the rib cage and the diaphragm to keep your posture nice and neutral, so we don't feel the rib cage flaring open. And again, a breath out here and a breath in to return, and use this breath in to fill the back of the ribs, almost as though you're trying to gently stretch the muscles between the shoulder blades with your inhale. And last one like this. Well done. We're going to take the band out from underneath the right foot and change sides. Cross it over once more. A breath in here and a breath out. Do just 3 more on this side. And we're changing sides just so that the left and right sides of your body have a chance to practice their balancing skills as well. You might feel this in the glutes on the right side as they try to stabilize your body. And last exhale here as we draw the elbows back. Perfect. So leave the band wrapped around that left foot, and now we're going to come onto the hands and knees and trap the band underneath your hands. Your knees will be open to about hip distance, and you'll have the knee between the band. So once you're here, the elbows stay nice and soft. The rib cage engages and pulls just a little way away from the floor, and you can feel your sit bones looking straight out behind you. Take a breath in to prepare. Now as you breathe out, let's stretch out that leg, reaching the foot into the band, lengthening the body. Keep your tailbone slightly tucked under here so that your lower spine doesn't arch, and now breathe in as you slowly return the knee to where it started. And again, a breath out as you push away, engaging the pelvic floor, feeling how the diaphragm, pelvic floor, and deep tummy muscles all work together to stop the spine from arching and moving. So all the while you're doing this, try not to let your head sag towards the floor. Try and keep the back of your neck unwrinkled so we know that we're not overworking the neck extensors here. Let's make that the last one. Can you leave your leg straight for me? Lower that straight leg to the floor and tap the floor with your toe, and then breathe out as we lift the leg away from the floor. And again, breath in to lower, and a breath out as you lift. One more time just like this. And now let's leave the leg in the air. Can you turn the toe out to the side so we're rotating the thigh bone in the hip joint? Turn the foot down to look at the floor again. So it's almost like you're turning a key in a lock. Each time you twist the thigh, twisting it just that little bit further, keeping the leg nice and high, keeping the spine nice and neutral. And this last time, turn the toe and the knee out to the side and hold it here. We'll breathe in as we bend the knee towards the elbow, and breathe out as you stretch the leg away. And just 2 more like this. So now you can take a break, or you can join me for the bonus round. Bend the knee halfway, and we'll do little tiny pushes into the band. Just 4 more here. 3, 2, and 1. Well done, we can release. So we'll take the band off the left foot, pop it onto the right foot. Crossing the band over before we trap it underneath our hands. And try and make sure that you've got the same amount of tension you had last time. It's very easy to lessen it the second time round. When you're ready, rib cage pulls together. Sit bones look behind you. Elbows unlock, shoulders unshrug from the ears. Take a breath. And now breathe out, stretch the leg back. You can feel the glutes switch on, tucking the tail under just a little bit to make sure we don't arch. And breath in as the knee returns. Now it's very usual for the body to list over to one side here. There are a few ways to stop that from happening. Firstly, try and keep your arms the same length, so don't let one elbow bend more than the other. And secondly, that supporting leg That supporting knee can drive down into the mat and almost push out to the side a little bit, activating the glutes on that leg, and that will help you to stay in a more central position. This is the last one. Hold it here. The straight leg lowers to the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. The ribs, tummy and pelvic floor engage together as you lift the leg. Just 2 more like this. Try to use your glutes a little bit more than your hamstrings, and you can do this by switching them on in your mind's eye. And last time, lift and hold it here. The thigh bone turns like a key and then turns back. The foot points to the side and then to the ground and to the side, and hold it like this. Bend your knee towards your elbow, breathe in, breath out, stretch the leg away. And just 2 more like this. Well done. So now feel free to take a break if you want, or join me, bend the knee halfway. Little tiny pushes just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And stop there. Well done. So we can take the band off. I'm aware that that whole section was quite tough on the wrists, so let's make a fist with both hands. Press the knuckles down into the floor as though you're trying to press your rings into the ground. And now we can sit the hips back towards the heels, just allowing the wrists to stretch. Let your head drop between the arms and relax your neck. And now unfold the hands. We can rebuild the spine all the way up to sit. And take your band again. So, now we're going to be lying on our side in a moment. Wrap the band around one foot. And then you'll have both sides of the band and trap both sides of the band underneath your lower leg. So now we're able to operate the band with no hands. From here, lie down on your side with your head just resting on your upper arm. We're going to make sure we have a tiny space between the waist and the floor, and your top hand can just support you here. You've got a nice tension on the band that you can feel already. And let's lift the leg away from the floor as we exhale. And then inhale as the leg comes back. And again, exhale as you lift, making sure the waist doesn't collapse into the ground. And inhale to come down. Let's go for 3 more like this. Make sure that your knee is unlocked. The thigh bone is pushed back, but the tailbone is tucked under to really maximize the activation in the glutes. 1 more to come here. Let's lift and hold. Press the thigh back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now bend your knee at the same time, lifting the foot ever so slightly, and then breath out as you stretch the leg away. So when we're doing this, make sure that your knee doesn't point down towards the floor. The knee and the foot should be just about level. And it feels almost like a one-legged sumo squat, this one. So now we're nearly there. Shall we pause halfway and go for some little kicks? Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch the leg all the way out. And now let's circle the leg forward, up, and back. And again. Double check your waist hasn't dropped. Double check the tail still tucked under. And the knees unlocked. And let's reverse, just for a last few. I can definitely feel this. Feels good. And last one here. Well done. So let's just slide the foot out of the band. Take the top knee and lower it down onto the floor in front of you. And now take the top arm, reach it towards me. Take a breath. And then as you breathe out, just bring the arm across the chest and take a little stretch back, just to release the hip. Wonderful. So let's make our way onto the other side. Band wraps around the top foot. Both sides in as one, and then we can trap the band onto the leg. And we're down on the ground again. Nice tension on the band all the time. Waist is elevated, tailbone is tucked under, and the leg can lift as you breathe out. Just begin to warm up the hip a little bit more. The muscles that you're using right now are so important for stabilizing the spine, for strengthening the hip girdle, protecting us from all sorts of unpleasantries that we might find ourselves experiencing in the future. And all of this can make a real big difference to your general posture. Let's hold the leg high now. Press the leg back into the band. Bring it forward. Now we're going to try and make sure that the pelvis doesn't move at all. So we have to engage the glutes, tuck the tailbone under, just to counteract the force of the leg pushing back into the band. Let's just go for 2 more here. You can use your breath out to engage the tummy muscles, and you can see how pulling together here is going to stop the pelvis from rocking forward like this. Okay, we'll stop here. And now, let's begin to bend the knee. As the knee bends, the foot rises. The knee stays on the same level as you breathe in. We can feel the pelvic floor opening and releasing. And then breathe out, stretch the leg away. Use the pelvic floor to almost tuck the tailbone under a little bit more. And a breath in as we bend. It's really common to feel this more on the second side than the first side, because of course we've already used this leg to stabilize when we were doing the other side. So it gets a double workout. 2 more here. Never let your band go floppy on this move. You want to keep it nice and tight all the way through the movement. And last time there. We can stretch the leg away. Actually, let's finish with our little small kicks. We're just going to do 5 little kicks here. 5, 4, 3, how could I forget? 2, 1, and then stretch the leg all the way out. Last thing, swing the leg forward, move it up and back for our circles. Another 4, 3, 2, and 1, and reverse just for 5, 4, keeping the waist up. Last 2, and 1. Well done. Excellent work. Unhook your foot from the band. Lay your knee down onto the floor ahead of you and stretch your top arm towards me. Breathe in. And breathe out. The arm comes across the chest. We can look back and stretch the shoulder, the hip, and the spine. Well done. So now let's come all the way up from here. We're going to take the band, wrap it around the feet, and stay in our sitting position. Here. So the palms will be facing up. We'll take a breath in and then breathe out as you just draw the hands towards the chest, keeping the elbows pulled close to the body, and breathe in as you release. Just a few here. So here we're trying to work the biceps, but also the forearms, which will help to strengthen our wrists. And strong wrists are really useful when you're practicing Pilates, because of course we go onto our hands and knees so often. 1 more here. Well done. I'm going to cross my band over now. I'm going to take a breath in, and then as I breathe out, I'm going to turn towards you, drawing my elbow back as though I'm pulling a bow and arrow, and just look over the shoulder. And a breath in as I come back to the center. And we'll do 2 more like this. Exhaling, trying to use the muscles in the waist to rotate the ribs over the pelvis. Looking all the way over the shoulder to work the muscles in the neck. And last one here. Well done. Let's change sides. A breath in to prepare, the shoulders are relaxed, the ribs are engaged, and a breath out as you turn away from me. Opening up the chest, using the waist to carry the shoulders back, and breathe in to return. And just 2 more. Hopefully you'll feel yourself twisting just a little bit further each time. Waking up the deep rotational muscles in the spine. Perfect. So now let's take one foot out of the band and then open up the legs a little bit wider. And we're going to hold on to the band with the opposite hand. We're going to thread the free hand underneath the band and just rest the elbow on the thigh, and then take a breath in as you look up to the ceiling underneath the shoulder, and then a breath out as you just gently pull away from the thigh, feeling a beautiful stretch all the way through that one side of the body. And we'll come back to the center and switch sides. So you can take this stretch further, deeper if you want to. Let's thread the arm through the space, look underneath the shoulder, and then just gently pull away. You could walk your hand down the band and go closer to the foot to get a deeper stretch, but I recommend just starting gently with this one. Well done. So now we can take the band away, pop it to one side, and perhaps you'd like to join me for the next video.